Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Williams. This is the United States of Africa channel. This is the kind of content you will be seeing. As you see right here, this is the intro. And if you've seen my Facebook intro, that's going to come up right after this. Go ahead and skip it. It's about 2 minutes. Skip the next 2 minutes so you can get right to the video. This is the content. Shout out the United States of Africa. Shout out the Sahel Alliance and everybody trying to get free. We need all those states united. We need a united Africa. Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. This is my Facebook channel and I'm making the United States of Africa YouTube. On my Facebook, I make posts just like this. As you can see, black people are human trafficked from Africa. We built America's banks and wealth and they loaned that out to white families. And to this day, they're, putting us in jail, criminalizing us, but we never got paid. So what do you expect? Crack epidemic, all of that. Also, I make posts like this. As you see, the Sahel have, not just the Sahel, all of Africa, over 11 countries have freed themselves from Caucasians, took all the land and gold back. As you can see, took all, and those are the dates right there. You can look that up. Also, like this one, I discovered that nukes only have a 5-mile blast radius. Africa has an 11 million square mile area. So if you times 5 miles by 3,000 bombs, which they only have 3,000 nukes, that's what, like 15,000 square miles. You understand? So, and as you can see from this picture I'm about to show, Africa is 11 million square miles. So they couldn't even destroy something like the size of the state of Texas, yet alone Africa. And it only has a 5 to 9 mile blast radius. As you can see right here, if you do 5, even 9 miles times 3,000 bombs, they don't have anywhere enough to fuck with us as black people. As you see right here, you can Google this yourself. That's the how many they have, and you need uranium to even build those. And uranium only comes from Africa or the Middle East, but mainly in Africa. And they have taken back all the uranium and everything. And as you can see right here, Africa is 11.7 million square miles. So if they can only destroy 15,000 square miles maximum, y'all don't even understand. These people can't even mess with us, y'all. We've taken back all land, gold, resources, everything. And they have been trying to assassinate me, Joshua Williams, for over 8 years now. I have proof of that. You can go on my Facebook and see. But they can't stop the movement. And that's enough talking. Here's the rest of the video, y'all. Let's get to it. That was my intro.
Is never compromised. Today we're covering something that's sending shockwaves across the entire globe. China has just delivered some of the most advanced military equipment in the world to Burkina Faso. And the implications of this move are absolutely massive. Before we dive into the details, we want to say a huge thank you to all our subscribers who keep coming back to One Africa for honest storytelling. Your support means the world to us and keeps us going. And if you're watching for the first time, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. We're building something special here, a space where African voices lead the conversation and where the truth always comes first. Now let's get into what's happening. Something extraordinary just took place in West Africa that has left global powers completely stunned. China has supplied Burkina Faso with hundreds of sophisticated military systems. We're not talking about old equipment or basic supplies. We're talking about cutting-edge modern weapons that will completely transform how Burkina Faso defends itself. This delivery includes over 400 advanced armored vehicles, precision artillery systems, and rocket launchers that can strike targets with incredible accuracy. This isn't just a military upgrade. This is a statement about independence, sovereignty, and the changing power dynamics across the entire African continent. Let's talk about what exactly was delivered. The centerpiece of this shipment is the VN-22B armored vehicle. Burkina Faso has received over 400 of them. These vehicles will give Burkina Faso's military the ability to move quickly and safely across any terrain. They can protect soldiers while advancing into dangerous areas and respond rapidly to threats. This kind of mobility changes everything on the battlefield. China also provided the BLL-05 gun mortar system. This weapon combines the long-range power of traditional artillery with the precision of mortar fire. In practical terms, it means Burkina Faso can now hit terrorist camps and hideouts with pinpoint accuracy from a safe distance. They don't have to send soldiers into dangerous situations when they can eliminate threats from afar with surgical precision. And then there's the real game changer, the SR-5 rocket system. This is not your ordinary rocket launcher. This is a highly mobile, multi-caliber, precision-guided strike weapon. With this system, Burkina Faso gains the ability to neutralize large-scale threats before they even get close to civilian areas. This is the kind of equipment that changes the entire strategic landscape. This is what real partnership looks like. Not empty promises wrapped in conditions and debt, but concrete, tangible support that actually makes a difference. Now let's talk about why this matters so much. For years, Burkina Faso has been on the front lines fighting terrorism. Armed groups, many of them backed by foreign interests, have terrorized communities across the country. They've destroyed villages, killed thousands of innocent people, and created chaos wherever they operate. Throughout this entire struggle, Burkina Faso has often had to fight with outdated weapons, limited supplies, and very little meaningful international support. The world talked a lot about helping, but when it came to actually providing the tools needed to defeat terrorism, the help never really came. Or when it did come, it came with so many conditions that it was almost useless. But now everything is changing. With this new fleet of armored vehicles, Burkina Faso can defend its cities and villages with real strength. With the precision artillery systems, they can take out enemy positions without putting their own soldiers at unnecessary risk. And with the advanced rocket systems, they can dismantle terrorist networks before those networks have a chance to launch attacks. For the first time in years, Burkina Faso is not just defending itself and hoping for the best. It is taking real control of the battlefield. But this story is about much more than just Burkina Faso getting new weapons. This is about China making a bold statement to the entire world. For decades, Africa has been armed and influenced primarily by Western powers. And those weapons always came at a price. That price was usually paid in natural resources, political influence, and sovereignty. African countries were given just enough military support to remain dependent, but never enough to become truly independent and self-sufficient. China has stepped in with a completely different approach. By supplying Burkina Faso with these advanced military systems, Beijing is sending a crystal clear message. Africa, you are not alone. You have options. You have partners who are willing to support you without demanding that you surrender your independence in return. This is a direct challenge to the traditional Western dominance that has shaped African politics and security for generations. Think about it this way. While Western powers continue to talk endlessly about democracy and partnership, they maintain military bases all across Africa and continue to extract mineral wealth at rates that benefit them far more than the countries where those resources come from. China, on the other hand, is giving Africa the actual tools to stand on its own feet and defend itself. The contrast could not be more clear. Now here's the big question that every African nation needs to ask. Will Africa finally wake up to what's possible? Because while Burkina Faso is taking this important step forward with Chinese support, the ultimate truth is that Africa cannot depend on weapons imports forever. Real independence will only come when Africa begins producing its own weapons, its own armored vehicles, its own rocket systems. And Burkina Faso's move today might just be the spark that ignites that transformation. Imagine if Africa pooled its resources, its engineers, its factories, and created its own military-industrial complex. The continent would no longer have to beg anyone for support. It would no longer have to accept conditions and restrictions from foreign powers. It would become its own shield and its own. China's delivery is more than just a generous gift. It's a challenge for Africa to rise up, to unite, and to finally take full control of its own security and destiny. Unsurprisingly, the Western response to this news has been mostly silence, and that silence speaks volumes. Because this delivery is a direct blow to Western influence across the continent. For years, Western nations used weapons as leverage over African countries. They provided just enough military support to keep African armies dependent on them, but never enough for those armies to become truly independent and powerful. That entire system is now being challenged, and those who have profited from Africa's weakness are terrified of what happens next. So what happens now? Burkina Faso is positioned to become a serious regional military power. With this new equipment, the country can not only protect its own borders effectively, but it can also support neighboring countries in the fight against terrorism. This could be the beginning of a new West African security alliance, where nations handle their own security challenges in their own way, on their own terms. And remember, this isn't happening in isolation. Across the entire continent, there's a growing movement of nations kicking out foreign troops, reclaiming control over their natural resources, and charting independent paths forward. Burkina Faso is at the very forefront of this revolution. What we are witnessing right now is genuinely historic. Burkina Faso, a country that many people wrote off as weak and struggling, has just been transformed into a formidable military force thanks to a partnership that delivered real, tangible support. This is about so much more than weapons.
Just so y'all understand, we were on the freeway. Imagine somebody like basically trying to ram into you on the freeway and then flashing, something at you and acting like he gonna shoot you or something. So, and then once we getting off the freeway, he get off on our exit, y'all. So what am I supposed to do? What would you have done? You get what I mean? So I held my composure. I didn't do nothing to nobody. Just so y'all understand, I'm not that person. You get what I mean? Like, you get what I mean?
Right.
It'd be different if it was around another person, right? Yeah, I said. But he ain't flicking nobody off. He ain't doing shit. Look, did you record him pulling back up on you?
I got it as soon as he hit.
Yeah, he ain't no shit.
I'm gonna report his ass too. I'm gonna report him.
I wasn't about to do that. But don't get it twisted.
Sure, really?
Nigga, you fuck around me and my family, nigga, you'll get laid down. Huh?
What's up?
What's happening? How you feeling? Clap to what? Clap to what?
I'll fucking shoot your ass in the face.
Right. And just so y'all understand, this video is the reason why I was saying I feel like somebody trying to get us into a situation or, get us to, do something to somebody, because clearly I'm not, like I said, I'm not the only thing I am is pro-black. I'm not no gang member. I'm not no dude that was ever in the streets.